Hello, Onnit and my beautiful Onnit tribe. My name is Jamie Kearney, and I am ecstatic to be a semifinalist in the fourth quarter of the 2021 Onnit 6 Challenge. So just to give you a quick overview, this challenge for me started in Alaska and it finished in Florida. And there were just some tremendous things I overcame, mostly mentally, and most of it was being away from my family after being together with my family for so long during lockdown and whatnot, and then being literally as far away from them as I could go in the country without actually leaving the country itself. And then just missing them terribly, and not really having, a lot of connection with a lot of people that meant a lot to me. So, except for you guys, yeah. So, anyways, you have some questions for me, 4 of them, and I'm going to jump right in and answer them the best that I can. How did the transformation challenge change your daily habits? Now, my daily habits, I like to think, are pretty good, but I'll be honest, when I'm doing a challenge, this being my 4th, my habits are much more dialed in than they would be, through a week or 6 weeks when I'm not doing a challenge. So that part I love about doing these challenges, because it keeps me very accountable. It keeps me on my toes, and it keeps me up to my standards that I set for myself before every challenge. So there's a lot of conviction there, and it just really helps. I find that when I'm doing a challenge, I am at my best, nutritionally, physically, emotionally, socially, just kind of across the board. So it's just a good place for me to be, is in a challenge. And I think you guys probably will agree with me, because it's you know what I mean. We all feel it. All right, next question. How has the transformation challenge changed your overall fitness level? Well, I did the body weight challenge for the 2nd time, and I have to say, as much as I love all of the programs that I've done so far with Onnit, the body weight has got to be the most beneficial as far as for my physique goes. So I know it sounds crazy just doing body weight, but I put on more muscle. I've gained more strength doing body weight that I've noticed, at least, than I have on any of the other programs. I mean, I can see it everywhere. I can see it in my calves. My calves are like jacked. My thighs are much more pronounced than before, but everywhere. I mean, like my chest. Do you hear that? Yeah, right. It feels pretty good. I mean, just everywhere. But the big thing for my fitness level was between the ears, and that's going to bring me to my next question, which is, how has the transformation challenge changed your mindset? So I'm up in Alaska, I'm away from my family, I'm away from my dogs, I'm away from everyone that I love. I'm doing a job that it's familiar to me as far as being a boat captain, but I'm on a totally different boat. I'm in a totally different body of water. I'm just like, I'm dealing with stuff I've never dealt with before on a boat. So it was hugely challenging. I'm missing my family like crazy, but there was a one common strong thread that kept me focused, that kept me accountable, and that reminded me that I was going to see things through. And that was the Onnit 6 challenge. Because I thought to myself, there were so many times when I was up in Alaska that I could have said, I'm going home. I'm going home. I've got a nice little life in Florida, and whether it was bicycling home from the boat in the middle of the night and passing by bears, or whether it was just being cold and wet in Alaska for so long, there were tons of reasons to come home, but there were several reasons to stay. The big one for me was that I said I would. So I owed it to my employer. I signed a contract. I agreed to stay through season. So that was it. And honestly, without being in a challenge and without doing a challenge previously and seeing that through to the end, I honestly don't know if I would have had the mental toughness to see that contract through. The other part is, the constant reminder that I've got a little pair of eyes at home watching me. Even if they can't actually physically be with me every day, they're watching what I do. They're watching how I act. My daughter, right? So I don't want her to see her dad go off and do a contract to attempt something and then come back and not fulfill his goal. So those were a couple of things. And when you think about it, who's watching you guys? Because everything we're doing is someone's paying attention, right? Hopefully. All right, next question. How has the transformation challenge changed your overall well-being? Well, again, it kept me mentally healthy. I mean, I was on a boat for a long time. I was the captain of the boat, so I mean, I'm on my own. Like, I'm in the wheelhouse. I'm on the bridge, whatever you want to call that area you drive the boat from. There's usually not a whole lot of crew up there. Most captains don't like a lot of crew in the wheelhouse, and you're on your own for very long days. My living accommodations were a room on my own. So, I mean, there was not a whole lot of interaction, but I did have it with the tribe. And that was the big thing for me. So I would do a workout and I would think to myself, I'm out here bobbing around in the middle of the Gulf of Alaska, in the middle of the night or whatever. But I'd be doing my workout and I'd be thinking to myself, hey, you know what? Some of my tribe mates are doing the workout today too. So I'd think of, like Tim Sibley in Minnesota doing his workout. I would think of Mariana in San Diego doing her workout, or Butterfly Brooks in Louisiana doing hers, right? Or Freddie Lopez in Texas doing his. And it was just like, I just felt like that connection with other tribe mates. And crazy, right? Like, I mean, I'm bobbing around on this ocean, and I mean, 1,000 miles from anything, or more, several thousand in some cases, but I felt that connection and that exercise and that energy, because we had the same focus, we had the same drive, and we had the same goals. So at some point in that day, we are like-minded and we are thinking of the same things and we have the same desires. So I felt like that was part of my time to spend with my tribe, even though internet access is a little sketchy when you're out in the ocean. Our ship did have some great communication capabilities, but it did not mean that internet was always accessible. And I couldn't check in as often as I wanted to with the tribe, but I knew they were there. So that was the main thing. But anyways, this challenge has been the most amazing one for me, just because it literally took me from coast to coast, from north to south, and it was really the thing that kept me from not being sad, not being too lonely, and keeping my mental health very much in check. Because as we all know, I mean, it's total human optimization, right? Like, if one thing's out of whack, then everything else feels it. And although I went into this challenge feeling strong, feeling healthy, after a little bit, it was definitely, it was taking its toll as far as loneliness, a little bit of depression sneaking in there. And it's really the tribe. I mean, the exercise and whatnot, the exercise was the vehicle, and the tribe was the connection, and the connection is what brought me the greatest success out of this challenge. So I just want to thank all of you. You all mean the world to me. I think you know that, but if you don't, you do. And that's about it, I guess. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of 2021. And I look forward to seeing all of your progressions and hearing your stories and watching your videos and just seeing everyone just really flourish in this tribe. And it's a fabulous place. Thanks for having me. Cheers.